Bun găsit, sunt Mihai Duță, ne vedem la o nouă ediție NEWSWEEK Live. Vorbeam cu Andrew Kinsel, un american care are o afacere în Ucraina și locuia la Kiev până zilele trecute. Acum 2-3 săptămâni era bine acolo. Spunea că nu vrea să părăsească Ucraina, că totul decurge normal, era benzină, lumea erau combustibili suficienți, lumea era prin magazine, lucrurile s-au schimbat brusc. Acum a trebuit să părăsească Kievul, conflictul este în desfășurare și toți cei care sunt acolo au viața pusă în pericol. Okay, how are you, Andrew, now? Just a few weeks ago, you were in Kiev and everything was fine. When did everything start to change?
Yeah, well, as you know, Putin had 150,000 troops on the border for a long time. And the night before last night, with information that they were getting ready to attack. Political purposes, that they'd been given diesel and weapons, and we started getting information the night before last night that the Russian troops were required to give their telephones back, and the final preparations for an act of war. And now they've invaded. So at 5 o'clock in the morning yesterday, my house was shaken as there was a missile attack against the airfield next to my house. So no windows were broken, but the shock moved my entire house. And
you're talking about your house from Kiev.
My house in Kiev, that's correct. So my house in Kiev is very close to the Vasil-Kiev air base. And at about 5 o'clock in the morning, we heard some noises that were strange. And then there were probably at least 10 big explosions. And I don't know what they were, if they were missiles that landed and hit the airfield, or if it was the PVO, the anti-aircraft, stopping the missiles. But the explosions were so close that my house was shaking. And immediately it woke up my girls who were sleeping, and they immediately understood what was happening, and we got in our cars and left.
Where are you now?
We're on the Polish, we're inside Ukraine. We don't want to leave Ukraine. But we are in a town called Sambir, south of Lviv.
What is happening in Kiev now? Do you have any friends who are still there?
I have many friends that are in Kiev, and Kiev is being attacked. So missiles flew in to hit Kiev last night. So apartment buildings that I know have been hit by missiles, not near where my kids go to school. So these are apartment buildings where people live. They are not military objects. My friends say that buildings in parts of Kiev have been attacked also by rockets and now by artillery, and that there is fighting very near Kiev and in Kiev.
What about your two daughters? They are fine. I think they cannot go to school.
No, the school canceled lessons for 2 weeks, but we're here together, family, and my daughters are scared. So when we heard in the place where we are now, there's an elevator. The first time we heard it last night, both my daughters and my wife jumped because it was a sound that was kind of similar to the bombs going off near our house that morning.
And what happened with your pets? I remember you have 2 dogs.
Yes, we were lucky. Our pets were scared by the bombs, but we were able to catch them all. Tried to hide from us, but fortunately we were able to find him. And so we have everybody with us, myself, my wife, my 2 daughters, 2 cats, and 1 dog. We're all together.
What happened with your business?
I don't know. my business is probably gone now. The um, I nobody's gonna do nobody's gonna be doing normal business at this point in time. So when we're driving, there's lots of people standing at to buy things in stores, the gas stations. There were huge lines yesterday, but we've stayed in the hotel all day today, reading the news, report to our friends, trying to help everybody in the world understand what they can do to help Ukraine. And in Romania, you know this, that the Russians last night attacked and took the Snake Island. And with that island, they can close off the shipping from the Danube. So now you have Russian forces on the border with Romania.
What happens with the banking systems, with the shopping?
So I understand they're keeping all the banks open as much as possible. People are taking money from the cash machines. The stores are not in Kiev, but there's no problem here in Western Ukraine with supply of goods. In Kiev, I know that the stores were trying to keep open, and delivery of food is taking place. So the Ukrainian army asked for help with people that are experienced truck drivers and people that can help with trucks, to give trucks so that they can supply food, medicine, and weapons to the people of Kiev.
You have enough food for the next period?
We have food. We're near the Polish border, so we're fine. But it's my friends in Kiev that I'm more concerned about.
What are you doing in the next few days?
Right now, we're praying for our friends in Kiev and for all of the people around Ukraine that are fighting the Russians, that are protecting their houses and their family from this invasion. And we're doing what we can to write letters and get politicians around the world to put sanctions against Russia, to cut Russia off from the SWIFT system, to freeze their bank accounts of Russian banks, to freeze the bank accounts of billionaires, and do the minimum that they can do, and hopefully give some more weapons to the Ukrainian people so that they can continue this fight. So that's what we're doing right now. We did not leave Ukraine. We stayed here so that we can write letters and talk with people and try and do what we can to support Ukraine. I don't think I can do much with a Kalashnikov or with a Stinger missile even. There's other people that are better at it than that. But I want the world to know that this is aggression from Russia, and I want the world to help Ukraine.
How long do you think this conflict will be?
That's difficult, but it could go on for a week, 10 days. I think if it depends, today is a very critical day. Putin thought it was going to be easy to win yesterday, and I think that the world sees how weak he is because he didn't win yesterday, and he still has to fight, and he's going to have to keep fighting. And if the Ukrainian people, the military, can stand up today with the support of the world and stop the Russian attack and destroy tanks and destroy airplanes and helicopters and capture Russian soldiers and kill them if they need to, then maybe Putin will have a problem. But Putin will keep fighting as long as he can. So this could go on for 5 days. It could go on for 10 days. And even if Russia wins the war, there's going to be a huge guerrilla warfare. So this will not be over. This will go on for months and years. And it will be like Afghanistan. We lost Afghanistan, and Russia will lose Ukraine.
Your family want to stay in Ukraine in these conditions?
We want to stay in Ukraine, that's correct.
Because you coming to Romania or in Poland for for your safe.
Yesterday, we could have come to Poland or Romania. We are close to the border, but we stopped. We want to be here if we can to help how we can. And I don't know what else we can do. It's maybe a little bit more dangerous here. That's correct. But the true danger is in Kiev. It's with our friends in Gluchiv. It's with our friends in Sumy. It's with our friends in Kharkov and in Kherson. And those are the people. Those are my friends who I know personally. I've been to their houses. I've eaten with them and joked with them and drank wine with them. Those are my friends. And they're fighting.
Do you trust in the power of Ukrainian army?
I think they've done a wonderful job so far. I think those guys are really heroes. And I want to thank you, the United States and the United Kingdom, the Baltic states that have given weapons. They gave javelins and stingers and bullets, and Canada also. They've given weapons to Ukraine to help Ukrainians fight. And I think it's a shame that Germany and Italy are taking such a wimpy pro-Russian point of view. And these are the first people that are going to come crying to the United States for help if there's Russian tanks in Berlin or in Rome. And I think what they're doing is disgusting. And they should give money, weapons, and sanctions against Russia immediately.
What measures do you think should be taken to stop the Russians?
There's three things that the world can do. Number one is give more lethal military aid. Ukraine is not going to attack Russia. Okay, that's absurd. Ukraine just needs it for defense. They need more javelins, more in-laws, more Stinger missiles, more bullets. We need medical supplies. We need food coming across the border. So that's the first thing, that we need to help out the Ukrainian military. Second, the Ukrainian, Putin knows that his biggest danger is the people around him. This needs to be very expensive for the people around him. And that means that there needs to be sanctions on every Russian billionaire that does not want to come out and specifically criticize Putin and tell Putin to stop it. And by sanctions, I mean that their bank accounts should be frozen. I mean that their visas should be canceled. And I mean that their businesses should be frozen so that they can't do anything. And they know that they are going to lose billions of dollars because of something that some crazy guy has some ridiculous vision of a historical fallacy. So the billionaires need to know that they're going to suffer and that they're going to lose their visas and they're going to lose their money, and maybe they'll kill him. The third thing that we need to do is stop every support for the Russian financial system, immediately freeze all of the assets of all Russian banks, immediately stop trade with Russia for aluminum, for copper, for uranium, everything that Russia is selling to the world, stop it. Stop selling equipment and microchips and things like that can be used by the Russian military forces. So it's ridiculous that German companies are selling equipment that goes into Russian drones. Stop it. Russians are using German equipment to kill Ukrainians. It's not right. So those are the three things that the West needs to do and needs to do now.
Do you think? Do you think the Russia could use nuclear weapons?
I have lots of friends in Russia, and I know the Russian people. I don't think that the Russian people want to use it. But right now, there's a madman in Russia. He's a dictator, and he is out of control. And just the fact that he invaded Ukraine, he might use a nuclear weapon against Ukraine. We don't know.
Thank you very much. Stay safe, and hope see you soon, well and healthy.
Yes. Thank you. Good luck and support Ukraine, please.
Yes, for sure. Romania is near Ukraine. See you soon.
Okay. Okay. Good luck. Bye.
Bye.